Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the Punting Green, brought to you by oddschecker and pricedup.bet. I'm your host, George Elek, and I'm delighted to be joined by Ginger Joe. And we will be every week as we look ahead to the weekend's golf and the markets as per priced up. Joe, how are you getting on?
Really good, George. Yeah, absolutely. We've got a really good event to start us off for the Punting Green series as well. I've had a look through some of the priced up markets, and they are generally offering the best price across the board as well. So we should have the good recipe, and hopefully we can find some winners as well.
Absolutely true. Yeah, it is the Players' Championship, of course, often labelled the fifth major at TPC Sawgrass, starting on Thursday. What a way to start this series. We'll be looking ahead to those, getting Joe's picks. And this will be the case every week. We'll be doing a preview ahead of the weekend's golf alongside Priced Up. And do sign up for a Priced Up account if you haven't already. Really good offers they've got up in there. Amazing boosts across sport. If you check the boost page every day, then you'll see that all the offers put there. The reason why I'm sitting in the dark is because I'm in a hotel room in Bristol ahead of the Cheltenham Festival starting tomorrow. So if you're watching this before the Cheltenham Festival, I'd also definitely recommend that you check out pricedup.bet. They've got loads of boosts across every day of the festival and loads of offers up there too. And I hosted the Priced Up Cheltenham preview, which you can find as well. And I also hosted the Cheltenham Raw, which was a show that oddschecker and Priced Up had over the course of the last few weeks. Joe was a guest a few times. You can find all the episodes there too to find your Cheltenham bets. Joe, before we get into the action, for those who don't know about your column and your tipping record and the rest of it, give us a quick rundown as to what people can expect and how you've been getting on recently.
Yeah, thanks, George. So I'm a Cheltenham born and bred individual. So I'm into my horse racing and my golf. And I was fortunate enough to have a stint on some professional tours myself, playing for sort of five or 6 years. Started on some mini tours with the likes of the Jamaica Tour, which is where players came through, the likes of Tyrrell Hatton, Beef Johnston. Loads of good players have come through that tour. And then I managed to get myself onto the Euro Tour, the Challenge Tour. Did quite well there too. But when that took a back seat, dived in with oddschecker, took a step into golf punditry, started tipping with the golf in 2023 with fully tracked bets. We are over 1,000 points in profit since 2023. Oof. And in 2025 so far, we are 41.8 points ahead of the money as well. So I'm hoping, George, that we can start this week with a winner. That would be the icing on the cake, wouldn't it?
Love that. What's the general, what's your methods of finding winners? Is it course fit? Are you a stats guy? What's the general means to find your bets?
So I'm very different to the majority of golf tipsters out there. A lot of people would like to look into the stats and see who's hit the most greens in regulation, who's been putting the best, etc., etc. But I prefer to dive into the more intricate details, because the problem with stats is they take a wide range of events and then obviously come up with a number. But the problem is that the good numbers, or the good half of those stats that are making up the positive numbers, they might come at links golf courses, they might come at short golf courses. So I like to dive in a little bit deeper, look at how the course is laid out. I'll always have a look at the flyover, sort of distinguish how I think the course needs to be played best, and then try and fit the players to that course with the best attributes. So I'm not a massive stats fan. I don't mind if a player is in really bad form coming into an event. That doesn't bother me whatsoever, as long as they hit the right shape of shot, they got the right trajectory, and a few other examples like that, really. The only time I would look at stats, for example, is we'll take Victor Hovland, for example, this week. He isn't playing very well. Now, that's not just on the basis that he's not playing well. He's almost like a modern day Nick Faldo. Suddenly he is obsessed with what his swing looks like, and it's actually becoming a bit of his downfall. So look, I don't mind if players are coming into an event in bad form, as long as they have the right attributes with shot shape, trajectory, ball flight, and things like that. That is where I come up with my my recipe for winners, hopefully.
Lovely stuff. Well, let's get into the action now. The point of this, we don't want this to be one of those hour-long pods where you've got to wait around to find out the picks. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into the course first. Then Joe's going to give us his picks, and I'll have a look at the props, and that'll be us done. TPC Sawgrass, you played there?
I haven't, but I know you have, George. Is that right?
I have, yeah. Should I tell you all about the intricacies of the course and what you need to do? Yeah, I was lucky enough before my daughter was born, I went and did a bit of a once-in-a-lifetime trip to the East Coast and played TPC Sawgrass and Kiowa and Harbour Town. And it was pretty mega. Driving up the drive, knowing I was about to play Yeah, and I played all right, to be fair. Me and my
Good.
mate beat my brother and his mate 5 and 4. But I hit 2 balls in the drink on 17. My mate hit 3 balls in the drink on 17. My brother and his mate got 3 and 2. So I think they were probably happier than we were at the end of it.
I was going to ask you that, George, actually, because they say there's over 120,000 balls that go into that lake per calendar year, which averages at around 3 per customer. They were saying it's obscene, isn't it? Really, when you think about that.
It was my honour because I got a 5 on 16, and I hit this like rank choppy 9-iron, thinking I was being clever, and it went 30 yards short and right. But also there's a bar at the hotel, the kind of golf course hotel where we were staying, and outside the bar there's a lake, and they have a line of golf mats and a few wedges, and you have to hit the ball onto this tiny island on the lake.
Oh, brilliant.
And it's $1 a ball, and they must absolutely rake it in.
Oh God.
Idiots like me and my mates all just sitting out there just going ball after ball. Anyway, that's a waste of money.
I suppose that pays for the people that can retrieve the 120,000 balls on the 17th at the end of the year, I guess.
Yeah, exactly it. But in your mind, we've seen Scotty go to Sawgrass and do what no one else has been able to do in recent years and repeat the trick. He's going for the 3-peat here, which are my least favourite words in sport. But what kind of golfer is it that you look for Sawgrass?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need a golf with a wide range set of skills here, because it's a really well-designed course. 7,275 yards, par 72, 4 par 5s designed by Pete Dye. This has been an event that's been hosted at TPC Sawgrass since 1982. However, since 2019, they made a few adjustments, and it does now suit the longer hitters a little bit more than it used to. And that sort of shows as well in the recent winners. Like you said, we've had Scotty Scheffler win it in the last 2 years. And we have a field of 144 players to narrow it down from this year too. Got some really interesting holes there, George. They got long par 3s, most notably the 8th, a 237-yard long par 3 with rolls off on each side of the 4 sides. I'm sure again you've been there and played it yourself.
Do you remember what I did?
Yeah. Did you hit the green?
I'm trying to remember. I mean, you keep talking. I think I've got my scorecard somewhere. So
fine.
And not that anyone cares.
Oh no, we do. We definitely do. We need to hear this, George. Yeah, absolutely. The worst or lowest green in regulation percentage comes on that par 3. You've also got really well protected greens on the par 4, so you need a bit of placement off that tee. And the par 5s, though, this is what makes the course here, because they've got dogleg bunkers, water all over the place. They are set up as well for you to hit one shot shape off the tee. And then if you're going to attack the green in 2, you need to be hitting the ball the other way. But if you miss the green, all I'll say is expect the unexpected. Water, deep cross bunkers, very undulating greens. Making up and downs around here is very, very tough. And it can pay sometimes around TPC Sawgrass to play them as 3-shotters to hit the green. So it's a very well-designed golf course. And it's definitely not over until it's over, obviously, with the water coming on that 17th. So the player requirements, George, for me, good ball striking, because that's going to help consistency. Players that hit the ball both directions. I want someone that can hit a draw and hit a fade. I think that's extremely important this week, and one that certainly has a reliable short game, because they're going to be missing plenty of greens around here too.
Lovely stuff. Yeah, I got 5 on 8, sadly, but I did, and I remember this. I got 4 and 11, the par 5.
Wow, there we go.
I hit 5-iron to about 10 foot and then missed the eagle putt. Anyway. Right, let's get through the market now. So these are all the prices with priced up. As I say, do keep your eyes out on the price boost page, because there will be boosts ahead of the players. But Scotty Scheffler going for that 3-peat is the 4-1 favourite ahead of Rory McIlroy at 11-1. Colin Morikawa, who's in an unbelievably commanding position in the Arnold Palmer. I think he might be a bit shell-shocked after what happened to the back 9 with Russell Henley chipping in on 16 and winning it by a shot. He's 12-1. Ludwig Oberg is 8-1. Justin Thomas 20-1. Xander Schauffele is 20-1. Tommy Fleetwood and Hideki Matsuyama both 30-1. Russell Henley, the winner from last weekend, 33-1. 40-1 bar those. Any selections out of that top lot in the market, Joe?
I have 2 from the top 10 or so in the market. I will quickly say the likes of Russell Henley, because he won last week. Bookies tend to cut players. I don't like back-to-back form. It doesn't necessarily that they're going to come out and win. It's very horses for courses, if you like, with golfers too. Scheffler, too short in the market. I understand why people would want to back him, but in a field of 144, it's like a giant Grand National for golf, isn't it? I'm not too keen on taking those sort of prices. But the two that I do have, I think, have outstanding chances this week. Yes. Would you like me to fire away with my selection number one, George?
Absolutely. Yes, please.
Okay. Well, we are going to go with the Swedish sensation, Ludvig Åberg. World number 5, gone from strength to strength this season. 2 top 5s in his 4 completed events, which includes a win in the Genesis Invitational. Now, again, he has the ideal box ticking attributes for this week. He hits a very soft fade, a 4 or 5 yard dispersion, but he can do the same with a draw as well. He doesn't deviate offline too much, which I like. So he's not going to be flirting with the bunkers. He's not going to be flirting with the water too much as well. And the fact that he strikes the ball so well is a major, major positive. That's going to bring the consistency out this week again for Ludvig Åberg. And I'd have him right up there with Scotty Scheffler and with Rory McIlroy when it comes to ball striking. He's been very reliable with his wedges too. He keeps his putting nice and simple. He is the player for me out of the top 10 this week that ticks all of the boxes and has to be a must-backable price at 18 to 1. I can't believe he's not shorter than that, to be honest. He's a 2-time winner already.
Is it an each way selection or is it a win only
yes.
selection?
Yeah, always each way in golf. When you've got this many players in the field, I'd never play win only. But that is why I will stay away from the likes of Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy at single digits, because there's plenty of value a little bit further down the field. I can't see Ludvig Åberg being too far away here. He's got all of the attributes to go well.
Great stuff. Ludvig Åberg 18 to 1 here in what would be, it feels like it's not going to be long until he's winning a major, but this would be the biggest win of his career so far. Who's next?
So next we have world number 6, a very much overpriced Hideki Matsuyama at about 30 to 1, I believe, George. You can
30 to 1.
Perfect, 30 to 1. Now, he's just a player that absolutely oozes class. He's played well and already won for us this season. For anyone that's been following me, he won the Century Tournament at the beginning of the year with a score of 30 under par. He was just exceptional from start to finish. Now, I did mention that course form isn't something I look for, and I haven't looked for it here either. But he has actually played really well at this place before in the past, and that can be a positive because it's such a unique venue. A very good understanding of the course and the greens around here can be absolutely vital. He's also been really good this year too. He's coming here off the back of finishing tied 13th in the Genesis. He's already got that win in the Century. He was solid last week, and he started this season with 9 rounds in the 60s. He's remarkably consistent. 11-time winner on the PGA Tour, Masters champion. He's again hitting the right sort of shot shape. He hits a nice soft fade off the tee, but can hit a draw if need be. Just class personified with Hideki Matsuyama. He's coming to the boil at the right time. 30 to 1, with priced up. Just seems an exceptional value for him as well.
Yeah, 30 to 1. Hideki Matsuyama there with priced up is the second selection. How many more have you got?
I've got 2 more. I am going to, in each episode, bring us what we call a bomb selection going forward, but I can't see it being too much of a surprise at this sort of course. But I do have 2 more players which are certainly going to be valuable enough, I believe, for this week too.
Great. Who have we got?
Wyndham Clark, 55 to 1, world number 8, 3-time PGA Tour winner, US Open champion. That major course form, that major championship is a massive benefit to anyone who's coming around this sort of difficult track. They know how to handle these sort of conditions. Now, Wyndham Clark is probably the player in my squad this week that doesn't fit the trends. He only hits a massive fade. However, when I watched him play here last week, he actually outweighs possibly not having the right shot shape by having marvelous course strategy. He's a real good course management player. So where I said earlier on today that it's not always wise to go for these greens in 2, especially on the par 5s, he actually made plenty of birdies around here last year by playing them as 3-shotters. Now, even the par 5s that he did attack and ended up in the bunker, he is an exceptional player from bunkers, rough lies, and he's a really solid putter too. Again, for someone that doesn't have the right attributes, he is dangerously overpriced at 55 to 1 as a major winner.
55 to 1 about Wyndham Clark there. That's the third selection. And who makes up the docket? Who's fourth?
Not a very flashy player, but a man that knows how to win, and it is Keegan Bradley at 50 to 1. There's loads of players like Keegan
US
Bradley
Ryder Cup captain.
Absolutely. And look, there's loads of players like him on the tour, not flashy, doesn't hit the ball a long way, but he is that consistent and knows how to play tough golf courses that well that he has managed to creep up there to world number 11, and deservedly so. Really consistent. And again, I like the fact that even though he isn't a flashy player, he makes up with it a lot with consistent, good course management. And he has an exceptional short game. When it comes to anything from 150 yards in with his irons, he's spectacular. I can't see him missing too many of these greens, considering he's going to have to probably lay up on quite a few of these par fives. And that's just going to lead to a nice, consistent 4 days for Keegan Bradley. Doesn't do too much wrong. That's how he's world number 11. That consistency has made him climb right up the world rankings. And I'm very happy to have him as the final addition of the squad at 50-1.
There we have it. Priced up are 5th to 6th. So 5th odds, 6 places for each way terms. And Ludwig Oberg at 18-1. Hideki Matsuyama at 30-1. Wyndham Clark at 55-1. And Keegan Bradley at 50-1 make up Joe's selections. Before we let you go, Joe, have you got any interesting prop bets for us? Anything kind of in the nitty-gritty markets?
Not a great deal this week. However, as mentioned, I will every week from now find you a huge price selection that I think can outplay the odds. A triple figure price that could well do something special. But as well, if you keep tabs on my odds checker column, I will sometimes put up a few ACCAs for the 2-ball and 3-ball markets mid-competition. And of course, George, we're not too far away from the majors as well, which we'll be hosting as well, I believe, from the studio. So I will have plenty of extra stuff as we go through the series.
Great stuff. That brings episode 1 of the Punting Green to a close. Thank you very much to Joe for sharing his tips and thoughts. We'll be back every week to preview the weekend's PGA Tour event. I am excited about it. I love golf and I love talking about it and betting on it. And that is what this is all about. Thank you to Priced Up for sponsoring the show. As I say, if you haven't signed up already, make sure you do sign up to Priced Up for all the odds and offers that Joe mentioned and the boosts every day across sport. Oddschecker have you covered for your fixed odds betting needs for the best prices, bookie offers, free bets, and plenty more. And make sure you subscribe to the Oddschecker YouTube channel for plenty more content like this and this very show every week. Enjoy the Cheltenham Festival. Enjoy the Players' Championship. What a week of sport. I will see you again next week. And please ensure that you're gambling responsibly.